Hello everybody, Voidmaster here. Welcome to another episode of the What If Every Nation Went to War series. This is 80 years later, and yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, the first two continents are North and South America, and as you can see, literally nothing has changed, at least on the map. The industries of these continents has increased by almost 20% since the last scenario, and literal millions of tons of equipment is being sent to the other fronts. But that's boring logistic stuff, so not really worth talking about too much, but I just need to make these videos longer because I'm running out of things to talk about. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get to the next continent, which is Europe. So, as you can see, Europe is a giant battleground between three of the biggest remaining powers. Well, two of the biggest remaining powers and then one of the smaller ones. That being the US, China, and Turkey. The United States controls most of the continent, from Spain all the way to Moscow. China controls the far eastern reaches of the continent through their Russian holdings, and Turkey controls the Balkans. Overall, the US by far holds the advantage on this continent, and even if the other powers try to throw everything they have at America, it probably won't be enough simply due to, again, logistic problems on the part of China and Turkey. Moving on to Turkey, they have further consolidated their strength over the Middle East, but they're experiencing issues. Their main issue is the U.S. gnawing away at their Balkan holdings, but they're also stalling in Caucasia. Yeah, that's what it's called. They've taken land in Iran, and they're launching a big invasion of Egypt. Overall, Turkey is just trying to hold out as a Middle Eastern power, but it's not looking too good for them at the moment. Moving east to a power that's doing better than Turkey, we have India. As you can see, India is fighting America in Indonesia, where they're actually losing this front, but that is an exception to the rule. They've beaten Turkey in some defensive battles in Iran, but overall this front is mostly stalled. And most importantly, they're still fighting a massive land war with the Chinese. A war which India is still technically winning, but their progress is rapidly slowing down, and it looks like the initiative is back in China's hands. India needs to take back this initiative, or else China is probably going to make some big moves in especially Southeast Asia. Moving on to China, as you can see, they are still ginormous. They've taken the Philippines, and they now control pretty much the entire First Island chain. But they are not without their own issues. With Russia gone, China is out of ways to expand without fighting a really strong power, or, traveling 10,000 kilometers across an entire continent. And, yeah, China is also completely encircled on all sides by the Americans through Europe, Oceania, and now a new force invading in eastern Siberia. So, yeah, overall, our three remaining Asian powers are pretty much boxed in by the Americans, and it is really a big question of, can any of these powers actually defeat the Americans? And, well, I guess that's the question for the next few scenarios. Moving to the final continent, we have Africa. And yeah, as you can see, this continent is now a two-power, one-on-one duel. Or at least that's what it would be if it wasn't for the outside powers. Egypt has taken out Ethiopia and has made major gains against South Africa, looking like they will be the last African power, but Egypt is not without their own issues. Most importantly, an American invasion of Morocco, and more critically, a Turkic invasion of Egypt proper. So, yeah, with Egypt's capital and second largest city sieged, those are separate by the way, Egypt is actually in a position to near collapse. If Egypt loses their capital, their fighting force will be majorly weakened, and the disorganization could lead to South Africa regaining the initiative and allowing South Africa to win the African War. But overall, this is still all up in the air, and the hands of the entire continent now simply rest in the face of two powers, that being how much will America focus on Africa, and how successful will Turkey be in their follow-up attacks in Egypt and Libya. So, yeah, that is everything to talk about. This scenario was a little bit shorter, but that's because there's simply less to talk about. I would also like to take this opportunity to say I have a Discord now. Link will be in the description. And yeah, hope you have a good day and a great year. And that's Voidmaster signing out. See ya!